Can't wait for you to love me. 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 I know you'll drive me crazy, but you'll still be my baby. Feels good knowing you won't leave me. Can't wait for you to beat it.
Hello, dudes, dudettes, non-binaries, and everybody in between, as we are an inclusive podcast, and welcome back to Talks with Tosh. Holy shit, you guys. I'm so sorry that I've been MIA for the last 3 weeks. It's been a shit show. It's been a mess. I've moved again to another place in my hometown, Eugene, which I'm happy it happened because of where I am now, which I'll get to. But I really just wanted to take this episode to tell you about the luck that I have had the last year of my life when it comes to my living situations. I shit you not, for real, man. Like I don't know how I've gotten so unlucky, but it's comical at this point because I finally am at a place where I'm happy and I love where I'm at in terms of my living situation and, you know, being near my family and all of that. Without further ado, let's get into what happened at my last place, where I was recording the first 2 episodes of this podcast. So here's the story. I move into this apartment in my hometown. It was quite a road getting there in the first place, just coming back up from California and trying to scramble to find an apartment and whatnot. And I was so happy. I thought that I finally could settle down for a little bit. I found at least my temporary place that I could be in until I, found a house, which eventually is my goal, is to buy a house. Of course, I think a lot of us are eventually hoping to do the same. But that was the place that I thought I would be. And a couple of months go by, and I mean, everything's going pretty well. I'm pretty happy there. It's good rent prices. It's buy everything. During the ice storm that we had in Eugene in January, it was a mess. I had a grocery store right next door. It was a great location, and I was close to my mom, 9 minutes away. So there was a lot of good reasons to be living there. And then month 3, I have a really close friend of mine over, and we're having some drinks because we're about to go out, and we're singing some Disney music because we're both, nerds, and we both love to sing Disney music. So we were harmonizing, and we were having so much fun, and it was the cutest, most innocent thing. And then I get a knock on my door, and I'm like, oh, shoot, okay, I guess we're being a little loud. And so I go to the door, and my neighbor comes over, this, olderish lady. I'm going to say she's probably in her 40s, but I don't know for sure. She was to the left side of my apartment, and she comes over and she's wearing a mask, and I'm like, oh, what kind of a person is this going to be? And she's just like, I'm trying to work and I need to eat. Can you guys keep it down? And I was like, oh, okay. Apologies. Yes, we will turn down the music and, we'll get out of your way or whatever. And then 20 minutes later, after we had calmed down and turned down the music and stopped singing so loud, she knocks again on my door. And she's like, seriously, you guys, oh my God. And we're just like, okay, I'm seriously, we're trying here. And at this point, I have my friend answer the door because I'm trying to get ready. And then I'm like, oh, you know what? She doesn't need to be dealing with this. This is my neighbor, not hers. So I'll go get it. And then I come up behind her and I'm like, hey, okay, I don't know what you're hearing. We've turned everything down, but we're about to leave. So we'll head out. Sorry for whatever noise bothered you. Okay. And then she just huffs and puffs and walks away. We think that's the end of it, of course. We're like, okay, so she's a frustrating neighbor or frustrated neighbor rather, I guess. I don't know. But I was like, okay, maybe I won't have people over and be so loud in the future. Lesson learned for me, moving on. So this was, by the way, Saturday at I think it was about 5 p.m. Which, first of all, it's a weekend and it's not during quiet hours. So, if I had been hearing people singing next door to me, I would have been like, hey, yo, get it. It's Saturday, baby. I understand that she was working, so like that's why we were trying to quiet down for her, but it's kind of frustrating that like it's not during quiet hours and whatnot. But I still was so nice, and I could have been so much worse. So it's just anyway. So a few days later, I think it was like Tuesday, I have a letter on my door, like an official letter. And I'm like, oh boy, what is this going to be? Also, I'm saying like a lot. I'm sorry. I just realized that. I'm going to try to stop. Okay. Okay. Continuing on. I find this letter on my door, and I'm about to go on like my daily walk that I was going on at that time. And I open the letter, and it says, you are evicted as of this date next month, unless you remedy by this date. And I was like, whoa, what do you mean? You know, like I've never even had an offense before in any living situation in the past, let alone at this apartment complex. So it was so baffling to me that this one time, you know, that I did something wrong, I'm evicted or like threatened to be evicted. And then I read into the letter, and she lied out her ass so hard. She said we were using homophobic slurs. She said we were banging on the walls to the point where her stuff was, you know, falling off the walls. She said that my friend tried to attack her and I had to hold her back. This was the most insane thing I've ever read in my entire life. You guys, the ones who know me out there, I'm not a violent person. I'll get defensive for sure, but I absolutely was not that way with her. I was very patient with her. I was very kind to her. I was very aware of her, and I did apologize for being loud. But I can guarantee you, I would never, ever disrupt somebody that way. I am literally in the LGBTQ community. I would never use, you know, gay slurs or anything like that. That's just not in my personality anyway. But also, like, and neither would my friend. It's not. She's an ally. So it was so baffling to see all of these lies. And my friend is not a violent person. So like she absolutely did not go after her. She definitely gave her a look, but that's about it. That's not, you know, an offense. Yeah, it was baffling. And I was so humiliated and terrified. So I went down to the leasing lady at my complex, and I was like, hey, I apologize for being loud, but I just want it to be known to you. I did not use homophobic slurs. I would never bang on the walls. Is there proof of these things? And she couldn't tell me. And all the way to the end, she refused to either tell me, or I don't know if like there was some kind of a legality thing behind it that she couldn't tell me about the proof that she had, but I was not told of any proof that these things happened. So it was basically word of mouth that they believed, which was so scary. So I just apologized and basically lived in fear for the next 3 weeks. It was so scary. And the leasing lady was like, hey, everybody makes mistakes. It's fine, you know? And I'm like, is it? Like, am I going to be kicked out? And she's like, just don't do it again for the next 3 weeks. If you remedy by this date, which just means be quiet, don't use homophobic slurs, and don't attack people or let your guests attack people, then you're fine. And I was like, well, none of those things happened anyway, but like, okay, all right, I'll do that. But I was scared. And I legitimately was like, we didn't do those things, but if the leasing people believed her this time, they're going to believe her again. So I was literally like tiptoeing around my own apartment for 3 straight weeks. And I didn't tell anybody other than my friends for that time, like my parents or anything, because I legitimately thought I was in the wrong, and I was scared. And, you know, I just wanted to fix it myself. And I wanted to find a way to get out of my lease on my own. I didn't want my family to have to, I don't know, deal with my stuff, which was so silly, because eventually I had some drinks with my aunt, and I told her, and she was like, that's not okay. And like, you should tell your mom about that because she'll know what to do, which is true. Because my mom is a super intelligent woman, and she knows a lot about like living, like apartment stuff and like rights. And like my mom works in the law office, so she knows a lot of that kind of stuff. So I went to her finally after that like 3-week mark, and she was pissed. She went full mama bear. I love my mom. And she was like, okay, I'm going to come in there and I'm going to fix this. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go. So she tries to speak to the leasing lady, and the leasing lady cannot give my mom any information without me, because my mom wanted to try to do it without me. And I was like, okay. And then I had to go down with her so that she could, give out any information about it. And we tried to just like fight the lady in terms of like, what proof do you have that these things happen? Because I will happily apologize for them if there's proof, but there isn't. And I would never do that. So unless there's proof, why is this, why? Like, I just don't understand. The logic of it didn't make sense. So my mom and I took one look at each other after trying to fight her on it for a while, and my mom was like, she's moving out tomorrow. And I was like, hell yeah, Mom, let's go. So legitimately, we pack all of my stuff in 24 hours. I stay the night there and finish packing everything. And I am out by by like 11:30 a.m. the next day. Like out. I got my uncle and my grandpa came over and helped with the heavy lifting with the big stuff and put my stuff in storage. And then I stayed with my mom for a week. I was like, peace out. Peace out, apartment complex. I'm done with your shit. Like, because it was so horrifying. And that's like, in case you guys haven't noticed during this podcast episode, I'm much louder. I'm much more myself. I'm much more fun and, not as like, I don't have that like quiet, soothing voice that I, had in my first 2 episodes. And that was because I was using the podcast as an outlet because I felt like I couldn't sing anymore in my own house. It was so sad, guys. Truly, I'm grateful to be out of there. I'm so grateful to my mom for getting me out of there and for going full mama bear mode and for reminding me my rights as a renter and all of that. It was quite an experience. I'm frustrated that it went so south like that and my rights were taken advantage of. But, it's the past. We moved on. I ended up staying with my mom and my brothers and my stepdad for a week. And it was great. I mean, it was nice to be back for a little bit, but it's also really nice to have my own space again. I moved out again very fast because I was just ready to have my own space again. And now I'm in a cute townhouse with the most space that I have ever had in my entire life on my own. I've lived in a townhouse before with, God, it was 4 people. That was a lot. That was a lot. How did I do that? Oh yeah, I was 23. But yeah, I'm living in a townhouse and it's almost 1,000 square feet. I have a little backyard. I'm allowed to have pets, and eventually I would love to have a cat and maybe one day a dog, but I want to start with a cat, and you can have pets here. And there's cats all over the place. Like there are cats that come visit me on my back patio. It's so cute. I love it so much. I'm very happy here so far. It's only my 2nd week living here, but it's great. And my neighbor here is so sweet. I ended up coming to chat with her before I moved in to just see the vibe, because we share our walls, like our living room wall downstairs and then our upstairs bedrooms. I have 2 bedrooms here. Oh, it's amazing. I have an office and a studio. It's fantastic, you guys. I'm very happy. But this neighbor lady is so sweet. And she's like an older lady. She's like, I'm the oldest person here. The rest of the people living at these townhouses are all, young like you, and everybody's super chill. And, there's never noise issues or anything like that. And I'm like, oh, that's just music to my ears. Thank you. Like, I really needed that. You have no idea. And it's been great. It's been so nice to have my own space again. And I'm very happy. But I do apologize for being gone for the last 3 weeks from the podcast. It was just because it was such chaos with the move. I needed to pack up all of my equipment, so recording was just such a pain, and I didn't want to go look through all of my things to go find the mic and record, and I also just didn't have the energy or the motivation because I felt so defeated and sad for a short minute there. But now that I'm out of there, and I can sing again and I can record again. You're going to be hearing from me again weekly. I will make sure to make it a priority now that my studio equipment is all set up. I have all the space and I'm so excited about it. Thanks for listening to me rant about what I just went through with that living situation. I just wanted to keep you guys up to date on my life a little bit because that is why I've been gone. But now we are back to every Thursday on YouTube. I will be posting. Yay, yay, yay. Here we go. Round 2, baby. And I will have more energy now in my voice. I will have hopefully more topics to talk about. But you can go ahead and email me at talkswithtoshpodcast@gmail.com with any questions or requests for topics. And you can also DM me on Instagram, Talks with Tosh Podcast. Or you can just go ahead and message me at my normal Instagram account, Imolara, Imolara. Yes, that is me. That's my stage name, in case you were wondering what that is. But yes, you can DM me on either one. I really don't care. Whatever is more convenient for you. But I will definitely post questions or topics this week. And I will see you guys next Thursday. Thank you so much. Bye.